Good morning, I'm Jeff Beckett. Thank you for joining us for this video. I have right here beside me a very nice man who's actually a member of the Shriners, and the Shriners is an organization that does a lot of wonderful things, and you're going to hear about them in a minute. So can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you real quick?
Jeff, my name is Gene Burns.
Okay.
I am a passcode 8 for Salomon Temple in Grand Rapids. I'm also a member of the Board of Governors for the Shriners Hospital in Chicago.
Very nice, yes. We actually were able to conduct a fundraiser for the Shriners, and I'm very pleased to report that it went well. What we were doing is we were raffling off the first signed copy of my novel for the first book that was ever printed. So for this occasion, what you had to do is buy a minimum of $5 worth of tickets, and then the tickets would be used to draw the winning person who would get the book and some other small prizes I have right here, such as a t-shirt. We were successful in doing it because we raised $500, and that might not sound like much, but when you consider the fact that it only cost $5 to play in the game, it was very successful. So in a few moments, we're going to be drawing the actual winning ticket out of what they call the spin bin. So we're going to be pulling that ticket out, then we'll determine who's actually won the contest. So that's what we have to say, and I'm very excited to be here to be joined in this activity. So could you just tell us a little bit about the Shriners and what you guys do?
Be glad to. The Shriners was developed in the late 1800s by a group of men in New York, and our first hospital was purchased in Louisiana in 1926. The hospital that I am affiliated with in Chicago is, I think, was purchased in 1927. And so it's an ongoing thing. We have 22 hospitals and one clinic in 3 countries.
Wow,
Okay?
that's
We
impressive.
have the United States, we have one in Mexico City, we have one in Montreal. We have one hospital in Hawaii. The one in Mexico City is our busiest hospital. And we also have started a clinic across the border in the peninsula from south of California. And because it's such a busy place, we have shrine temples, if you want to call them that, shrine centers, that are adjacent to the Mexican border. And they wear out lots of vans traveling and bringing children from Mexico into our Shriners hospitals in Texas. We have 195 temples.
Wow.
In 5 countries. We have one in the Philippines, which is new. We have one in Germany, which is new. And we have several in Canada and Mexico.
Very nice.
One in the United States. So we are Shriners International now.
Very nice. Congratulations. That's great.
Yes, thank you.
So,
And our Shriners hospitals specialize in mostly orthopedic care, but we have 2 pages of diseases and things that we cover as specialties in our hospital. We're small specialty hospitals, and we have the finest cleft lip and palate team in the country.
you know what's interesting about the Shriners, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's my understanding that you provide medical care free of charge. Is that accurate?
We can't say that anymore.
Oh, bummer, really?
No. We provide medical care at no cost to the parents or patients.
No cost to the parents or patients, so we'll
Yeah.
blink our eye here and we know what it's really about, because I think that's
We
cool.
have to say that because about 2 years ago, we started taking third-party pay from insurance companies.
I see, okay.
And there is a legal conflict. And that's why we have to say that we treat patients at no charge.
It's a legal conflict in a legal world, I think we can all understand, So if I wanted to get involved with the Shriners, or anybody wanted to be involved in supporting this great organization, what could we do?
You have to first become a master mason,
Okay,
and we get you a petition and fill out the petition, and then it goes before the body of the lodge that you would be applying to, and you would actually be interviewed by 3 members of that lodge.
okay.
And then the lodge would vote on it. And
Do you guys throw in a free meal when you guys have that meeting?
the third degree, we usually have a meeting.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
So since it's a free meal, I think I'll join immediately.
That sounds good. Sounds good. We'd love to have you.
Okay then, well, the Shriners is obviously a very nice organization, at least in my opinion. I've been a senior dean lay now for a while, and I feel like I'm getting old, but I went to a Shriners hospital in Massachusetts, and I was really impressed at everything they were willing to do. They did things like they showed us a video of a little girl who couldn't walk, and she was her gait was just awful, would be the best way to put it. And after the Shriners worked on her, there was still a little bit of dysfunction, but it was just eons better than how it started out. So, tell us, I think this is a little interesting tidbit of information. Tell us what's so special about the actual top tab on a soda can that the Shriners collect. What is it about that little thing that's so special?
We have 4 burn centers. And not only in our burn centers, but in all of our hospitals, kids come for different reasons. Most of them come because of burns, and especially in our burns hospital, every child gets a mobile toy, okay? And with that, mobile toys carry or have to have batteries. So the tap tops serve as a vehicle to buy batteries, because the Shriners Hospital system will buy the toys, but they don't buy the batteries. So that is a way that we can keep our kids busy, keeps their hands moving.
By recycling the tabs, is that how the money is? Okay.
Yes, so it improves their healing because their minds are attracted to something besides their injuries.
And you know what's interesting about the soda tabs? I found this out years ago. The tab on a can of soda is the only part of the soda can that's 100% aluminum. So what they do is they can take the tabs, then they melt them down into aluminum, and that's obviously worth money. So, and I did not know that years ago, but I had a gentleman who was a Mason explain it to me. And I thought that was a very interesting piece of information. So nowadays, if I have one of those tabs, I try to save it for the Shriners, so they can put it to good use. And so that's a little interesting tidbit that I didn't know,
Yes.
which is kind of cool. So
All types of fundraisers out there.
yeah, you know,
Create things.
and I had a little playful moment with Mr. Burns just yesterday, and I asked him how I could get one of those neat little cars that they ride around in. That's where part of my interest is. So if I join the Shriners, will I get one of those neat little cars I can ride around in?
You can join a shrine club that has those neat little cars.
Okay.
Yeah. There are several different ones. There's one in Cadillac that has the B500 style.
Okay.
And there's one in Battle Creek that has the little Model T style.
Very nice.
So
Huh. Isn't that something?
it's a neat thing, very neat. And it just makes us more active, brings us together, gives us more exposure to the general public.
Okay, well, one last question before we go do the drawing. I'm a new author in the state of Michigan, and I'm very fortunate to have a new career where I can publish books. So what's something that my business, authoring by Jeff Beckett, what's something we can do in the future to support the Shriners? It can be either monetarily or through a volunteer basis. Just something that you could see there's a need that we might be able to fulfill.
Well, there's, like we said before, there's all kinds of fundraisers that you can do.
Okay.
Raffle tickets, dinners, things like this. And whatever you know can put together, we'd be more than happy to try and guide you and help you in this and that.
And before we go to the drawing, one thing I'm going to say is that Gene was able to come here on a last minute's notice.
Sure.
So he was not informed until, I believe it was yesterday, that we were having this event. So I believe that he's owed a special thanks for doing that, for coming out here and joining us. So I'm going to ask the ladies in the room to please give Gene a round of applause for coming and joining us. Very special of him to be here. So, okay, we're going to pause the camera and then we're going to set up for the actual lottery drawing. So we will see you folks in a minute here, and we're going to have some more fun.